Good afternoon, viewers. I am Natalie, and you're watching Listening. Listening is a show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents, as well as the challenges of parenting adolescents. We're looking at life through the eyes of adolescents, coming to you live from TV Africa. It's also showing on DSTV channel 362, GoTV channel 175, and streaming live on YouTube on Ali Television Network. Listen has been made possible by our kind sponsors, eTransact, Purple Rose Shoes, Lesh Fortune Limited, Chrisarch, and Danny Terlwin. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the studio. Today we're continuing from last week. Last week we started talking about, the topic for last week was, please, I'm an adolescent, talk to me. Communication, creating the right environment. And in the studio we asked the adolescent, what do they consider to be the right environment? Today we're continuing part 2 of last week, and we're going to start with the issue of trust, which is where we ended. So with me to discuss trust in the first segment of today's show is Jennifer Connor, Faithfulness Akanu, Benjamin, and Caitlin Barnes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much.
So last week we ended on trust to come back to continue with trust. So when we talk about trust in that environment, that space that you're talking about, what exactly goes into that for you? What is your definition of trust in the environment that you should be able to communicate with your parent? I'll start with you, Jennifer.
The communication, the listening ears, that even if you say something to them, you know that definitely they will listen to you.
Okay. So it's about the listening for you. They are spending the time to listen. Now, Caitlin, when we talk about trust, what do you expect in that space from your mom and dad?
Okay. So with trust, right? It's me telling you something, you listening, and you keeping it in our space.
What do you call your space?
Our home, between us. I tell you something, I don't expect it to go out.
Okay.
If it's very personal.
Okay.
There are some things that obviously will go out.
Even though you don't want it to go out?
You don't have a choice, it will go out.
When you say you don't have a choice, what do you mean?
What I mean is like, you get an award at school, you receive an award in school. Obviously, it will go out.
That one will go out.
Mommy would tell everybody she knows it will go out. But it's something good.
Yes.
Some bad things, for me personally, my mom wouldn't say anything bad about me out.
Okay.
She wouldn't. And that one, I really appreciate it. But
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. So, for the award in school, that one we call it showing off. You know, parents, we like to do that. But what is it that you think that when you tell her, have you had an instance where you said something to mommy and she said it out of your space?
No, not really.
Not what do you mean by not really?
Not really, as in like, I do not remember. I don't think I remember anything like that.
Next time we won't let mommy come to the studio. Yes.
I'm being very honest.
Okay.
Because my mom, when you tell her something, she wouldn't, and you say, Mommy, what I'm telling you is between us. That's what I'll say, it's between us.
Okay.
She knows it's
She knows the girl code.
Yes.
Okay. So she keeps it. When?
Sometimes also, it's not them taking it outside. You see, you confine in them with what you tell them, and they'll turn around using it against you. For example,
okay.
for example, you tell them that you are very bad at reading in school. And they are supposed to help you, right? But they won't. As soon as you fail, start scolding, you fail, and your other friend, I mean your neighbor in the same school, starts passing, then they come. And I won't wait. Once they're passing, they are using it against you, which sometimes isn't right. I'm not saying it's always not right.
Sometimes. It's always not right.
Sometimes you need to be scolded. You need to be scolded, face the challenges.
You know, this is a live and interactive show, and you can send your comments and contributions via WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 020 723-3302. The number again is 020-723-3302, and it's on your screens now. Yes, continue from there.
Sometimes you need to face those challenges, be challenged so that you can do better.
Okay.
Yeah, but not always, because you are confining in them. And sometimes too, it's not about them taking it outside. It's about solution and availability. When we as teenagers...
Now, wait, I want us to break it down. First, they turn what you confined in them against you.
Yeah.
And you consider that as breaking the trust.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting, that you see that you've said something to her in confidence, you expect the help,
Yeah.
but it becomes a weapon.
Yeah,
Wow.
they use against you.
But what if, let's say, that weapon, they are using it to like solve the problem?
No. So,
So like sometimes, so for your case, they might, I don't really like comparison. Comparison is not good at all. But maybe they might use it to like, I don't know, push you
Motivate?
in a way.
that is why I said sometimes.
Okay.
Because sometimes it motivates you. And if you have low self-esteem, it breaks down you become very low, and what you are doing, you can't even continue.
You can't continue.
You see,
The
it
fear.
varies in everyone. Some people may be hyper, some may be low, some may be very energetic, some may not be. So it differs. So you should know your child and know how to deal with that thing. You see?
Wow.
Yeah.
So in a sense, we're saying that you feel that parents don't know
Their
you
child.
as children
Yeah.
well.
Sometimes you do something and you tell your mom, you don't know me and I know you. Why do you?
I gave birth to
Yeah,
you.
because I gave birth to you. No, sit down, have conversations, talk to each other, share ideas. Then you get to know your child, and that also builds trust.
Wow. So you really believe that we don't know children?
And if I should say this, not only on the teenager side, the parents also, the teenager or the adolescent need to help his or her parents to trust them. I mean, build trust together.
Okay.
Because it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
So you have a role to play, and the parents have a role to
yeah,
play.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For example, if you tell your mom, oh, I'm going to Marvin's place to study, and you go outside and you go and party, you've broken their trust because they trusted you that you'd go and study, and they allowed you to go.
Okay.
So it goes both ways.
Okay. So, I mean, today we're giving the parents a break. Thank you very much. I mean, it's amazing. Marvin, what's your take on that?
I think for the trust aspect, I'll hammer on
You will hammer. Hammer.
building the confidence.
Okay.
If you are not able to build the confidence in your child, I mean, that relationship between you and your child, and your child doesn't have that confidence in you, there's no way I'll trust you.
Okay.
If I'm confident that when I tell my mom,
Mm-hmm.
Mom, I'm not good at reading, and I know that my mom will sit me down
Yeah.
and maybe teach me, rather than, there are some parents growing up, I've seen that my parents always scold me. They beat me up. Even the little thing I do, they'll beat me up. But then there's somebody in my house who does the same thing, and all the parents does is sit her down, talk to her, go this way, go this way. But my parents would rather beat me up, chase me around. How are you building? You're not expecting me to build the confidence in you.
Yeah.
So even if I do the wrong thing, I will not be forced to come and tell you.
You know, talking about confidence and trust, we have a message here from last week. She says that, good afternoon, I'm Precious from Dansuman. As for me, I don't trust anyone on this earth, not even my mother, because I asked her who my biological father is, and she didn't give me any answer. Later, I asked her that who gave me my surname, and she said the nurse who was there when she was born gave her the surname. How possible? Because of this, I don't trust her.
How can you lie?
Obviously, it doesn't make sense at that age that
Yeah.
it's a nurse.
Growing up,
Yeah.
you tell that child, okay, the nurse, but she's growing up.
She'll eventually find
She
out.
will eventually find out. She's maturing.
So this is clearly
Right.
an environment of broken confidence and trust.
In a
Yes.
way that, in a way, it also speaks as the child being adopted,
Okay.
because the mom always has to name the child, right? I mean, the parent.
Yeah.
And the mom is saying the nurse was the one
Did.
who named.
Yeah.
So in a way, the mom is trying to tell her that she's adopted, and she doesn't know
No,
his
but
mom or anything.
go straight
yeah, go
forward.
straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at least she should tell the child. You see, and I don't understand how the Precious is saying she doesn't understand. When did she get to know that? The question she asked. When
Yeah.
did she get to know?
Okay, she's watching. I'm sure she'll give us a feedback on that.
But you know, the more this is a child, I mean, for her to have texted means she's mature enough and
Yes.
she's family. So what do? Sit your child down. Okay, this is what happened. This is what happened. But then, from what she's saying, you see that the mom is always repeating the same thing every time, and it's disturbing her. When I go to class, I sit among my peers, and they say, "Oh, my mom has done this. My mom. What do you expect me to say? My father is this. My father is this. How do you expect her to sit among them? And tomorrow when she does something wrong, you expect her to come back to you and come and say, Mommy, I did this. No, the confidence is already gone.
When you're a parent, you understand. Yes.
So for this issue, I feel like if the mom does not want to tell her about her back, like her father, or about where she's from or anything, she shouldn't have lied about the next thing. Because at least, if anything, okay, Precious, listen, I will talk to you when you are at a certain age or when you reach a
You
certain...
should buy time.
Yes, because you can't tell her that, and she's able to know that this is clearly a lie, but then like, that alone is hurting. For your mother to tell you this is like, this is the answer you want, or like, take it and go. Do you get it? It's,
Yeah.
You see, and that is another thing. When is the right time?
You think parents decide when the right time is,
Yes.
or it should be your responsibility?
No, see, as we are growing up, we are learning.
Yeah.
What are you learning?
We are learning from you from outside. Yes.
okay.
Yes, we are learning about everything. We are learning about the world, growing up to become adults. And you not telling me that I would grow up in a certain way that I would do the same thing with my children. For example, trust. We are talking about trust. Trust will help us build us into adulthood.
It plays a role.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, for example, if I grew up trusting no one, I become disloyal. I'm not loyal.
Okay.
I have trust issues.
Okay.
Yeah. And me growing up into an adult and having all these problems, don't you think I won't fit into certain places? And at the end, I may lead a certain life that will end me up into something very bad, maybe jail or death. You see,
And then
so
tomorrow they come to blame me. That's the thing.
yeah. So when is the right time? You see, as we are growing, you can break it down little by little. You don't need to wait for me to grow up when I'm 20 years and Kofi, bruh, we have something to talk about. No, 10
Some
years
people
old.
get it at 30 years.
Because as I'm growing up, I go to school. My friend's dad will come and drop him off, and I'm coming alone. I'll have this question: why isn't my dad dropping me off? I will ask you that question. Will you tell me I should wait, or you would lie?
No, but I think maybe Precious' mother knows her child, and maybe she didn't want to tell her because of the consequences. Maybe it might traumatize her or
Don't you
something.
think
What kind of
it's causing damage
consequences?
to
Yes.
Because because if you don't tell her now, when exactly are you waiting to tell her? Because for her to say this means she's matured enough to know. So if you are still holding it and then she grows up like this,
Precious is an adolescent. She's probably 17 or 18.
yes,
wow.
so
And she's already saying that she has absolutely no trust for
Trust in anybody.
anybody.
And she's saying that means she used to trust people, but after hearing that, she has lost that trust. So just imagine, I trusted you, then you tell me this after 17 years, then I
the
lose.
damages.
What damages?
I don't trust anyone.
Okay, that's one.
So even if something good comes to me, you reject it. That's how it is. Because you feel like I can't trust this person.
Okay,
Even if my mom can do this to me, then who are you?
yes. What about
You
a
get it.
total stranger?
Meanwhile, on the other side, it's a good thing for the person, but just because of that trust, he or she loses that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when it's now late, you now try to come and build that trust. What happens to the damages? And then tomorrow when you go, I mean, when your lifestyle now becomes what they are not expecting, they now push the home blame on you.
Who is they?
Parents.
So now,
I brought you up in this way. I expect you to be this thing. I expect you to be this. But growing up, you don't see the little damages or mistakes you have done.
So there are a lot of things that, Jennifer, if I come to you, we are overlooking as parents.
Yes.
Which, you know, forms you as a person,
Exactly.
develops your character.
Okay.
yeah.
There are a lot of things you're saying we're missing out on.
Yeah.
So to the solution, Precious' mother could have told her the
Exact
Yeah.
situation.
little by little, and even with that, it would help the mother grow as a parent, because you learn things as
Now you want parents to grow.
we are
I
all
have to
learning.
ask now.
We're all learning.
We
Yeah.
all learn. We all learn, because we never stop learning until we die.
Okay.
Yeah, even parents, even old people, they sometimes learn from
Thank
kids.
you. Go on.
So even telling your kid gradually, little by little, will help you grow as a parent, and you in turn can teach your peers to do that. For example, Precious'
Situation.
dad is dead. Let's
Assuming.
Yes, let's assume Precious' dad is dead, and she goes to school, and a friend of hers,
Loses
dad,
her
yeah.
father.
Then she comes back home. She's 7 years old. She comes back home. Mommy, why is my dad? I see Akusia, and her dad always drops her
Okay,
in
in
school.
school.
And for me, so with there, you won't tell her to wait, or you won't lie to her. There's white lie. Yeah.
I don't know why to lie. I'm sure you tell me what it is.
Oh, you know.
Oh no, with you people on the set, I don't know it. I tell you, I don't know it.
White lie is the lie you tell to protect
Ah,
other
Certain-
people. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So at
This
that
is from you guys. So if we say it, you
It's
know.
for everybody in
Good.
general.
so at that age, she's young. Do you want to tell her that her dad is dead?
Maybe you could say it in a way that is not harsh.
That is the white lie.
Okay. Okay.
Or you can just tell her that her dad has traveled.
Yeah.
She will ask again. Then you break it down. So and so happened whilst her dad was traveling. You haven't lied. He's dead, right?
So long as the
It ends up at
She knowing.
the truth of it all.
yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So, with Precious's issue now, do you think that should her mother gather the courage and talk to her, it will make a difference and repair, or you think it's too late?
The earlier, the better.
But it will take time.
Yeah.
Trust needs to be earned,
Yes.
and that trust is broken. I mean, fine. Her mom will talk to her. She might forgive her, but it will take time for that trust to
To
come
be
back,
back.
especially when outsiders come in.
Wow.
And at this point, for her to be the one now requesting, it means that it will be very difficult.
I tried there, Tro.
Yes.
I said something which is
So
there.
even if she knows the truth about her parents, at this age, the damage is already done.
You think that it's too late to repair the damage?
What
it may
else?
not happen overnight.
Yes. I mean, it will take a long time.
Yeah.
So even if she knows the truth now, she might definitely the anger it will be there on her mom that you hid this all this while you never told me, you know, getting it. But coming back to now build that confidence with the mom will be very difficult.
So you're saying that the way we try to hide things from you children is wrong.
It's not
We should find a
Certain-
way
yes.
to
Yeah.
break it down,
Down.
in bits, and
Yes.
rather than it coming to you as a shock.
Shock.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that should be in that environment you're looking for
Yeah.
to be able to communicate.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about time.
Okay.
I know time is a big deal when it comes to you. Let's talk about time. When we talk about time, is it something you expect to find in that safe communicative environment?
Of course.
It is. So what is your definition of time? And Ben, I'm coming to you.
Okay, so time is when the parent, we are talking about the parent
Yeah.
having,
Mhm.
yeah. Time is when the parent and the adolescent are both in the house and talking to each other, having time for each other, playing games, or
Chatting,
yeah,
sitting down.
yeah. And with this one, I would say it goes both ways, because we as teenagers, we sometimes don't have time.
In
How?
this era,
How?
millennial
era,
kids don't
yeah.
have time.
How?
So extra curriculum things.
Ah, that's what you mean. Not that you don't have time.
But
That's
that's
So-
no, the extra
No,
curriculum is
no.
helping us.
See, when it comes to building trust, it involves communication, conversations.
Yeah.
And usually, the adolescents go to school. They come back late. When they come back, they have
Assignment.
yeah,
Assignments.
assignments to do and all that. And the parents also have work and certain things.
Yeah.
And those things can't go together, right?
Okay.
And usually, we as adolescents, we tend to use our phones more and we like to go out. I mean, we want to explore.
Are you
That is
using your
where-
phones because it's an alternative because parents are not giving you the time, or you're using your phones because
We are supposed to use it.
So
Yes.
I'll come to that. Let
Okay.
me talk about this.
Okay.
So we have our phones and we tend to mingle with our peers, thereby not giving our parents the time to talk to us.
Okay. So you know
I'm
that you
talking
people
for
are
the
fault.
parents. It goes both ways. When I started, it goes both ways.
Okay.
Parents time not to talk to us. Oh, Kofi, where are you? Mom, I'm coming. I have to do something with Ajua. I'll be back soon.
Meanwhile,
By the
he's
time
playing.
I come back, food is ready. I'll eat. After eating, I
Homework.
have to study before I sleep. So we don't have the time to talk. That is with the adolescent, right? Then we come to the parent. You're from work. You're tired. As soon as you come, you eat. Oh, Daddy, please, I want to talk to you about something. Can we do it tomorrow? Okay, fine. Then you go and sleep.
Tomorrow never
Early,
comes.
yeah. Early in the morning, Mommy, please, where is Daddy? He has left. Mommy, can I talk to you? I have to go to the market. You have to go to school. Why are you still here? There's no time. So we need to build a space where at least on Saturdays we clear our schedule, right? Then we sit down. Let's talk.
Can you guys clear your schedule?
Oh yes.
You are my
Once you
parent.
are the parent,
Yes.
yeah, and you tell me this.
Please. I mean, we try to communicate, and all we get is either you're embarrassed about what we want to talk about, or you think you know it already, so you're sitting there maybe, but you're not listening.
So
That's
in the-
why you have authority. When you tell me, Saturday we are having meeting, we want to talk. I mean, who am I? Unless it's something
I like that.
very important that I'll have to excuse myself. But
That
you
one,
don't-
cry, you need to tell them
that
that,
one, you even
Yeah.
because
you
of
even-
this and
yes,
this, I can't be
I
around.
can't be at the meeting. But once your parents said,
Saturday.
Saturday we are having meeting, we need to talk about this.
So you want us to create the time and bring you in,
Of course.
and we're not doing that.
Yes. I think there was something my dad and mom does. So during the day, everyone is busy. And by nightfall, we are outside. So there's no time to talk. But early morning, the waking up time is 5 o'clock. At 4:30, they will tell you the previous night, sleep early. I'll wake you up early in the morning. That's what they say. But you don't know why they are waking you up early in the morning. So you know that early in the morning, before waking up time, 5 o'clock, they are waking you up. 4:30, they wake everybody up. You sit you down.
Okay.
Mom, dad, even if you are sleeping, they'll ask you to stand. Just for you to be awake. And
Yeah.
they talk. They talk. They talk to you. I mean, at that point, sometimes we get interested and we even go late for school.
Okay. So I have a message here. It's on time. So I want to use it. Please, my mom have time for us, but I can't tell her many things.
The trust is not there.
My brother My elder brother, rather, that I talk to all the time.
It means he or she hasn't built that trust in the parents.
There isn't confidence on that.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll bring you another segment of the show. Stay tuned. Do you remember when you were an adolescent? The fun, the changes, the excitement, the good and bad decisions you made, and the need for guidance which was not available. Listen is the show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents, as well as the challenges of parenting an adolescent. Join me, Natalie, and my discussants as we delve holistically into these issues and more and provide solutions. Listen to the voice of the adolescent. Do you remember when you were an adolescent? The fun, the changes, the excitement, the good and bad decisions you made, and the need for guidance which was not available. Listen is the show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents, as well as the challenges of parenting an adolescent. Join me, Natalie, and my discussants as we delve holistically into these issues and more and provide solutions. Listen to the voice of the adolescent. Do you remember when you were an adolescent? The fun, the changes, the excitement, the good and bad decisions you made, and the need for guidance which was not available. Listen is the show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents, as well as the challenges of parenting an adolescent. Join me, Natalie, and my discussants as we delve holistically into these issues and more and provide solutions. Listen to the voice of the adolescent. Do you remember when you were an adolescent? The fun, the changes, the excitement, the good and bad decisions you made, and the need for guidance which was not available. Listen is the show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents, as well as the challenges of parenting an adolescent. Join me, Natalie, and my discussants as we delve holistically into these issues and more and provide solutions. Listen to the voice of the adolescent.
Game on. Hey, wei eye dwumadie fofora ebeba wotiehwe efidie yi so na yede akudie musemu yede ho sensem ni nyina ede bro obepiem ewo de Ghana Premier League ni mu a yede senya strikers ahodo a omunim go hye yede ho sensem ni nyina ede ebro na kopiem FA Cup so a yegirem yede ho sensem ni nyina da ede bebro Women's League no so yefan camel ni nyina ebema osenya se ene senya fatane yede upiem amana ne so a na se yakopiem de English Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, French League 1 ene de keka ho yede ukopiem USA so a na se the big game NBA yede ho sensem ni nyina ede bebro yefi agudie mu sensem a yede upiem ewo tennis, table tennis, judo, taekwondo, F1 race, moto GP eni agudie mu afana nyina da mi ambede dwumadie no ho chiame ye fa Nana Kwaku Jan ubenya ni nyina ewo game on.
If you've just tuned in, you are watching Listen. Listen is the show which discusses the challenges and insecurities of adolescents as well as the challenges of parenting adolescents. Today, we're taking part 2 of last week's topic, which is I am an adolescent, please talk to me. In the first segment, we're talking about time and trust. Now, I have some messages here on trust. It says, parents must understand that if a child successfully develops trust, the child will feel safe and secure in the world. Parents who are inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, or rejecting to contribute feelings to mistrust in the children under their care. Failure to develop trust will result in fear and a belief that the world is inconsistent and unpredictable. His name is Eso from Ashaman Zeno. Now, and in this segment, we're going to talk about, again, we're still talking about the safe circle that adolescents should be able to come to parents and communicate. Now, one of the things that they keep saying is that that circle may exist, but opinions have already been formed, so they don't get the opportunity to even talk and decisions are taken. To discuss this segment with me is Katen Bands, Akosia Newman, Ohomina Kwe, and Sylvester J. Welcome to the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now, Katen, I'm going to start with you. When we talk about, you guys say that we've already formed opinions. What exactly do you guys mean?
So, for example, if I go to ask for something,
Mm-hmm.
or I want to talk about something,
Mm-hmm.
based on how you see the thing, you've had your own idea. I have this analogy I give. It's like we are all in the same football team, right?
We're all in the same football team. Okay.
We all have the same goal.
Okay.
Our goal is basically to score more points than our opponents.
Okay.
In this, but I'm at the defense. What I see from my point of view is the goalpost, our goalpost,
Okay.
and it is for me to make sure
You
the
need
enemy.
to give me a simpler analogy
Simple analogy.
for everybody to understand. Give me an example.
Oh, okay.
Have you had a situation where you've gone to mommy about something or daddy about something, and then you find that they've already formed an opinion and have an answer before you even explain yourself?
Oh, sometimes I can go to mommy or then ask her, okay, so this is the scenario, or this is how I feel about something. And by the time I'm done talking, I feel like I've communicated, and the response she's giving me is like, what you said, I didn't. Yeah.
No, so when you get the what you said, I didn't hear it, is it that she's not interested in what you're talking about? Or it doesn't go there, she doesn't feel.
It's like she's not understanding what I'm communicating. She's hearing the words, but she's not getting the message. That kind of thing.
Now that's very interesting. She's hearing the words, but not getting the message. So in a situation like that, do you give up or you continue to cry and communicate for her to understand?
Oh, most of the time I give up.
You give up, which means that the purpose for which you went to see her is gone, or in the hope to repeat it, bring it up another day.
Oh, for me, I see the word and I read that. It's like, in the end, what happens?
What do you mean by in the end, what happens?
If something is bound to happen, it will happen.
happen.
It will find a way to happen. If it's not, then
It is what it is.
yeah.
See, Mina, have you had a situation where you're trying to communicate something to your mom?
Yeah, I would say sometimes you would want her to or them to find themselves in your shoes, trying to know what you want to really tell them. But they feel they are grown and they feel so competent enough that what you are going to say is out of the box. And so far as this is my opinion to what you are going to say, then I don't think what you're saying is even necessary. Even with that gives you like, oh my God, okay, so the next time I'm not going to say it again. I'm just going to keep it to myself. Or probably if you don't want to keep it to yourself, you try to do it again, and that's the same response. And
Doing it again, do you use the same approach or you come from a different angle?
even if you use different angle, it's still the same thing. It's still the same result. So, as he said, you give up. You just
give up, just like that. Akosia, is it the same thing with you?
Yeah, I want to even bother myself because I know how my mom is.
I want to be whatever. So it's either I think they're loyal to my heart, like just do what I want, or I want to do anything.
But if you do what you want and it goes south, okay, what do? Do you go back to her?
Oh no, I just feel guilty and just sit somewhere because when I go back, it's like, I told you, you didn't listen to me. What do you know? Have you been through this before? Like, she keeps talking and like,
You know, she says, have you been through this before? Do you think that we react in the way Mina is describing and Katie is describing because we've seen it and we know what is going to happen?
yeah, sometimes it's true. You guys have seen it, but like, you still have to leave us to go into it and like experience it. Yeah, it's true.
You know, last week Ben said something. We should allow you people to make mistakes. Hold that thought. I don't know about the mistake. Sylvester, do you feel the same?
Mine has got to do with school fees.
Okay.
Now, some of the parents, they've already made up their mind that this is your school fees, I'll pay it this day. So I come home, I'm like, Daddy or Mommy, this is what has happened, so I need the school fees. Those times when I'm sacked.
Are you saying it with the same demeanor you're saying now?
Oh, no,
I need the school fees.
Right now, I'm afraid. That I was very shy, so I was afraid. So I'll come looking nervous and all that. Then you'll be like, I'll catch your teacher and said tomorrow. Like, I won't go.
So you don't go to the school at all? You go?
I'll just stay somewhere. When they close, you won't come. I don't like embarrassment in my life. So I'll go. If you don't have, it's better you go and talk to the teacher. Don't tell me to go back. Like you've made up your mind that this is the day you pay. So whatever I've come to tell you, it's a no-no. And then another analogy is my dad growing up, he didn't want me to play with the kids in the house.
Okay.
The other kids in the house. And there's nothing you, even in fact, that's why I didn't have an opinion at all. Because you can't say anything about it. He says no and that is it. But I didn't go to him for, just bring it down a little bit. But I had my own way.
How was the way?
I knew the time my dad would close from school and come home. So I know also that my dad, when he's walking, he's looking straight. He doesn't watch. He doesn't watch anywhere. So I use that against him. I can go and play. Let's say like 5 minutes for him to come back. I'll go and dress up and wash my feet as though I've not done anything. And there are times he will come. But I'll just be looking at you with my eyeballs like Menito. I'll be looking at him. I know he won't look anywhere. So the moment he gets into the house, I have a certain corner. Go and pass there and then come. Like he hasn't seen me.
You know, with what Sylvester is saying, do you think that in that stance parents take, we lead you children to do things that you normally wouldn't do?
Yeah.
You think that's the case?
Yes. I feel if, for example, like if your parents don't hold you back, right? If you don't cage the dog wouldn't want to be free.
So you think we cage you guys?
Yes. So the thing, I read this like article about the reality prison, some kind of thing. It's like you are made to believe that where you are is not the prison, right? So that you don't have a reason to get out.
Okay.
But with the way parents mostly handle it is, they make it feel like what they are trying, what's your home, the place where you're supposed to feel free, is the prison.
It's the prison.
And that's why by the time that the child like gets to university, they want to move out. They
go haywire.
Yeah, because it's like I'm a prisoner in my own house, and
is it your house?
No, when I say my house, I'm not talking about it's mine.
Okay.
And like I'm a prisoner in the around my family.
That's how sometimes we make people feel.
Yeah, and you may not intend for it to be like that, but that's how it comes out.
Wow.
Yeah.
At any point in time, do you feel that when we do that, it has some effect on your development as an adolescent?
I think when it comes to like socializing with other people, like to be very rich. Me, for instance, like I'm used to staying in the room all day watching TV, and right now it's affecting me. My mom comes to me and she's like, "Hey, Amelia," like always in the room. When I go to my cousin's house, like I don't talk to them. I'm always in the room. I don't like socializing with people. When people talk to me, I just be like, okay. Like it's really
Do
affecting
you think
us.
that will also affect you career-wise?
I don't think so.
Assuming that you want to do something that makes you mingle more with people, okay, but the upbringing and the environment you've grown out in has not permitted you to do that. But you feel that, look, I'm more drawn to this career, which is a people, kind of thing. Would it hold you back?
I think so, because sometimes I see people that I really want to be friends with. Like, I know they have something that when I get connected to them, it will help me. But because I don't like talking to people and stuff, I can't go to them. Yeah, so it brings me back. Unless my teachers are like, Akusia, come and read. At first, I didn't like reading in public. When I'm in class and I read, like the bar, like you laugh at me. But like I'm just surprised that like right now I'm very fluent. Like when it comes to sometimes I take the Pasco in class. I'll be reading it. My friends are like, hey, I'm really good and stuff. But at first it was very, very bad.
And you believe that it's become the way it is now because of the support from your teacher?
Yes.
He's encouraged you to be more.
And even sometimes the insult from my mom, it's also encouraging me. She'll be like, look at your friend like this, she's that. And I'm like, okay, you want me to be like that? Okay, I'll be like that for you.
So the reaction from your mom also encourages you in that positive light. Okay. But so what is the worst thing that the opinions they have formed in the circle before you even go in there to communicate? What's the worst thing that can happen?
It just kills you, shall I say, it kills you. The thing, it makes everything die, like at the spot. So you feel, okay, so I can't do this anymore, and no, I just can't. Like, I just can't. That's it. I just
Sometimes
can't.
you become depressed. You just be thinking, why is my mom like this? Like, why is my dad like this? You just
Is she really my mother? Is she really my father?
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like running away from the house.
Really?
Yeah, it comes in your head. Sometimes I'll be talking to my friends. I'm like, hey, so my mom can treat me such a way that I feel like when I was like, me too. I'm like, hey, why are we thinking I want the same thing? Yeah.
And sometimes it can go to extremely like dangerous points. For example, if the person is melancholic, the person thinks a lot. The person will at a point start to question what's the point of life.
Yeah.
And then at that point you are losing your child.
Wow. So we're doing more damage than we know.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm going to pick this up again. Do you again think, like what Benjamin was saying, we do not know you as our children?
Oh, as for that, I believe it's strongly.
Yeah, it's true.
Really true. Because my mom
Most
sees me
parents.
to be someone that I don't like talking. But when I get off like of the house and I'm talking with my friends,
I go to
"Mom,
Brofo."
hey, when I'm home, she's like, hey, my daughter, even if you touch a car, she won't even say anything.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, really, she doesn't even know me. What I want, like what I like, the people I want to work with. She doesn't know anything about me.
They barely.
Hold the thought. I'm going to announce the phone lines. Our phone lines are open. The number to call is 0302 908 607. The number again is 0302 908 607. It's on your screen now, so you can call. So we don't know you, yet we want to communicate with you, or we want to judge and decide that this is the person you are.
Well, the thing is, people see the world from where they are standing.
Okay.
Right? I see things from my eyes. And so parents would look at their child from where they are standing and they make the idea that this is who their child is. But the thing is, or even how they train their children, that this is how my child is. But the thing is, you don't spend most of the time with your children. You come home from work after 8 hours of working in the day, you come home in the evening. You spend like four of those hours with your children, and the rest of the time sleeping, doing other activities, right? That 4 hours you spend a day with your child, that does not decide who your child is, because the child spends time with their friends, spends time with their teachers. They walk around, they encounter people, they might get into fights. These things would decide your child's personality.
Wow.
Right? And by the time your child comes home, you can see that no physical change has occurred on the child. But in the mind, the child has, something has changed. The child has become someone else.
Wow. This is loaded. Let me read some messages. It says, as for me, I'm like a prisoner in my own house. I can't even go out with my friends. I can't even go out for anything. I'm always indoors. I always feel sad and hate them for that. Do you think that with some of the things we do as parents, we keep bringing negative energy? Need to send all your shows to my husband outside. How do I get all your videos? I'll send it to you, madam. I'll send it to you. Okay, it says sometimes we
Yes,
communicate.
hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for calling. Your contribution or comments, please.
Okay. Thank you for, you're doing a good program anyway. This is my first time I'm watching your channel. I think I was seeing my channels and I got there. The boy in the green caught me, like his language and everything. But I'm getting interested in the topic you're talking about. I'm a first-time father with a son. He's about 2 years old.
Okay.
And I think what you're doing is really going to help us, because I hope you don't stop now. Because I'm learning something even today. It's telling me so much about how I have to handle my kid, how I have to know him well. But I think these kids are contemporary kids. You know, they are very, their mindset, and these kids are they are critical thinkers, much more than us. And I think we are losing that mindset. Sometimes we think that we, the old age people, we think we are mature, we are grown and all that. But these kids know so much now. They know way too much than we knew in our era. And I think it's high time we start listening to them like they are saying. Give them a listening ear. Get them closer to us. Because you are forming this entourage, this bondage in schools. And they get to talk among themselves. So if the parents, we don't give them the ear they need, they start discussing among themselves and they do things in schools way away from us. And they outsmart us all the time. You see, the same way we were outsmarting our parents, they are going to do things to us. So I think at high time we learn so much, get them closer to us, and they are going to tell us everything. They are going to be accountable to us even if we don't ask them.
Wow. Thank
you
so
very
much.
And I hope this program.
Thank you. I mean, that's very loaded. I mean, for a first-time watcher. And he says he's a young father. So he's learning a lot to be able to make sure that he takes his children on the right path. Now, he says sometimes we communicate to show much love and concern. I feel that our parents go through a lot to make it up for us, but protecting an empty barrel is quite worrying. Sometimes when we get their time and attention, we feel more loved. It really helps, but here is the case where they are killed by emptiness. We are killed by emptiness within. That's also another issue to deal with.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Thank you for calling. Your contribution or comments, please.
Yeah, I've been watching this.
Hello? Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah, I've been watching this program for some time now. What the kids are saying are very true. I personally went through the same scenario, and it wasn't good at all. It has actually affected me. I can't go out anymore. Like, I don't have friends. Like, it's very, very appalling. Like, I don't know even how to. It's somehow.
Do you feel like you need to talk to someone?
Personally, I'm going through some counseling and stuff, so I think, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, sweetie.
Yeah, I've been going through counseling, so I think that is okay for me for now.
This is interesting. So if this can go that far to put you in counseling?
So I'll use myself as an example.
Okay.
Those times, my dad was so strict. You wouldn't even try to talk to him because everything in the house looks so tense and all that. And when I do something, I used to run away from the house.
You run away?
Yeah, I've been on the
street
street
for
like 2 times.
When you run away, do you plan to come back?
No.
You don't, but you do come back.
I don't come willingly.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Your contribution or comments, please.
Oh, okay. My name is Esu. I'm calling from Ashamazin.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling.
Oh, okay. One thing I've also realized is that as a parent, must show love to their teens. Positive attention is a must for teens. You have to give them a positive attention.
Yeah.
And also, parents must spend time with their teen to show him or her that they care for them. And another thing I've also realized is that they have to listen to their teen when he or she talks. Sometimes when they are talking, parents don't listen to them or give them that positive attention. And they also feel that, no, they are not being heard. If that happens, they tend to listen to their friends or those who are close to them, who will give them that positive attention. And then they will tend to listen to their peers rather than their parents. So they must give them that positive attention. And the parents must also not assume that their teens know how much they love them. You shouldn't assume that love that your teens will know. No, they shouldn't assume that. So they should just give them that positive attention, love them unconditionally, and also set boundaries for them. Loving your kid doesn't mean you should just allow the kid, but you have to set a boundary for them and discipline them the right way. And I think if that happens, the child will draw closer to the mother, and that motherly love will also increase. So I think this is what I have to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I mean, what he said is also very, very interesting. Let me read a few messages because we've got a few, just little time to wrap up. It says, please, is it advisable for a guy or an adolescent guy to share what he's feeling with his mom? My name is Javon Wisdom from Ablikuma Agape. Adolescent guys, is it advisable? Do you think it's advisable for them to share with their mom? Your mom is your mom, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you should be able to tell her everything. But I thought the boys are closer to their moms.
We are closer to our moms. I mean, like,
it's in
yeah.
We are closer. It's
Yeah.
in most cases.
Yeah.
And the girls are closer to their dads. Akusia, why have you gone quiet? Okay. Okay, one more message. It says, good afternoon. Parents always think they are always right, but that's not the case. They should sometimes listen to the views of their children. I'm Baba from Tema. Baba, thank you very much. I've got to wrap up soon. It says, not that I don't have trust in her, but I thought, this is, okay, somebody else, Precious, I think. Not that I don't have trust in her, but I thought it is a disrespect to tell her I'm having a boyfriend or tell her I'm dating. Now, that's not disrespectful. I think the one person you should be able to tell about this is your mom, because she's the one who will guide you through it. So you'd rather tell your brother or sister?
But it's
Well, it depends on who your mom is, right?
Yes.
if your parents agree with the idea of you dating someone else, then fine. But when your parents don't agree, it doesn't mean the feelings instantly vanish.
Do we ever agree?
The parents?
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes.
About you kids dating, do we agree?
Oh, I've met my mom. My mom is fine with it. I know people who are fine with it. But it depends. My mom like this. It depends on your age. If
your mom is fine with it. Hey.
For most cases.
Okay, so I have, somebody's watching us from the UK. He says, interesting, pa. The guys are hitting the nail on the head. Yay. I hope parents are listening. Isaac, thank you very much, Isaac Nelson, from watching from the UK. Now, we're wrapping up. But for our season finale, we're going to do a live studio audience. So parents, adolescents, anybody who would like to be in studio with us to have the discussion, this is the number to call. 056 058 0385. This is a weird number. 056 058 0385. The number again is 056 058 0385. Once you call this number, all the details will be given to you. If you want to be part of the live studio audience, we can't take more than 120 because of COVID. So if you want to be a part, you have to let us know very quickly. All too soon, our time is up. Next week is going to be very interesting because next week we're going to bring in the parents and the adolescents. It's going to be like, it's going to be very nice and sweet. So thank you very much for watching. As you know, Listen has been made possible only by our kind sponsors, East Transact Limited, Crisage, Lesh Fortune Limited, Purple Rose Shoes, Danny Tailoring. I mean, for all your comfortable, lovely shoes, classy and handbags, Purple Rose Shoes is the place to go. You can locate them at the Kingsby Roundabout in Achimota. Lush Fortune Limited, anything interior decor, from curtains, blinds, outdoor, indoor, hotel, home, office. Lush Fortune Limited, you can locate them on plot 50 in Dakar Road, Kotobabi, Spintex. Cresage is on the local road. They say they will floor you. Anything to do with carpet. If you haven't gone to Cresage, then I tell you, that carpet in your home or office is not what you need. Danny Tailoring, no matter what you want to wear, comfortable styles, classic designs, vintage ideas when it comes to fashion. Danny Tailoring is where you want to go. And e-transaction, all your e-platform transactions, that is where you want to go. We thank you very much for joining us. I am Natalie, and you've been watching, listening. Same time next week. You don't want to miss next week. Trust me. Stay tuned, and we'll be back next week. Thank you very much for watching.
Let's go. Bumper to Bumper Season 2. Dance battle, catch the reality, unquenchable fire going through the veins of the dance pythons right here on this stage. Bumper to Bumper